Don't judge. Welcome back to the Spooky Small Space Garden. I am Tish, and I'm a small space container gardener in the low desert of Phoenix, Arizona, Zone 9B, 10A. And today I'm so excited, and it's not the pantyhose. I will get to that. I'm excited because, you guys, I have my very first sugar baby watermelon. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with these in a sec. But first, let me give you a quick rundown of what's been going on in the garden and what I have planned for today. Welcome back, guys. So I've been away from the garden for a bit. I had about 2 weeks of traveling, and then I got sick. So the last thing I wanted to do was be out here in the heat, messing around in the garden. So as you can see, it's pretty, it's not that bad. It's overcast today, and it has been. We've got those monsoon rains that have been coming in, but we've got a break in it right now, so doing a quick video. And let me just show you what's been going on. I haven't done a whole lot because, like I said, I've been away, I've been sick. So, yeah, let me show you what's been going on. So first off, as you can see, I pulled the corn. And when I say I pulled the corn, what I mean is I chopped it off at the base. So I'm going to allow those roots to break down and feed the soil. So in the meantime, I did throw down a spaghetti squash in this bag and a couple of sunflowers before the rain hit. As you can see here, we've got a sunflower popping up here. So sunflowers in these 2 bags as well. So I thought that might be a nice little thing to have while I'm waiting for fall planting. So yeah, over here on this side, this loofah, you guys, is loving the rain. I mean, it took off. It's really starting to branch out and get thick. I did feed it some bloom booster fertilizer. I'm using Fox Farm Tiger Bloom. So I did feed it some of that to kind of help promote flowering. As you can see, the watermelon is taking over. There's a little baby right there. And also climbing this, which, you know, no big deal. Watermelon has taken over here, and you look at this. So I have a volunteer squash plant, likely zucchini. So I have not had very much success with squash plants in my garden due to squash bugs. I could not get control of them, but I'm really keeping an eye on this one. So I'm hoping that we'll have some success with that before the winter season hits. Couple more rattlesnake beans that have popped up, and so far I'm not seeing thrips, and I'm hoping that these will make it through and I'll get a little bit of a harvest. All right, moving on to this watermelon. Oh my gosh, look at this thing. I'm gonna back up. Okay. It is climbing both trellises and it is ginormous. But the exciting thing, we've got a little baby. And we got a big baby. Look at this guy. Oh, he is huge and I'm so excited. So, this is where the pantyhose comes in. All right, so since this watermelon is vining up and not laying across the ground, I have nowhere for this watermelon to sit. And if it gets too heavy, it's likely that vine holding it up, that little vine, is going to break. So I am using the pantyhose to create a hammock. And so that's going to kind of give that watermelon a place to lay so that it doesn't break that vine. I did not come up with that. So people actually do that. You can pick up pantyhose from the dollar store and use that. So that's what I'm doing today. One of the things I'm doing today, but let's take a look at what else is going on. So as always, my oregano is out of control and I still have yet to cut that back, but I am kind of waiting on that till the temperatures cool off just a little bit more. So over here, this Chimayo melon has not done well. The thrips have just completely attacked it. As you can see, I've pulled most of the damaged leaves. It's still kind of hanging on, so I did leave it there, and we'll see if it does anything before the cold hits. As far as the rest of this bed, and if you're wondering about these sticks, yeah, it's to keep the feral cats out because they like to hide over here. I did take out the cucumber because that was just demolished by thrips, so that's gone. Stevia is looking good. It did get a little bit of crispy on the edges, but it still had enough shade that it's kind of, it's starting to thrive. It's branching out a little bit here. I've got 2 stems now, so that's good news. Not much going on over here. Lemon basil. My my bell pepper is back there somewhere, kind of covered by these monstrous tomatoes. And let me back up, and you can kind of see that they have completely fallen over. They're out of control. All the branches are just sprawling everywhere. And when I did get back from traveling, one of my tomatoes was super ripe and also super eaten by the birds. And that's because my feeder and my bird bath were empty. So the first thing I did was fill those up. And I'm also pulling any tomatoes that are starting to blush. And part of the reason for that is because with all this rain, as you can see right there, we've got splitting. And so I'm trying to pull those as they start to blush to hopefully avoid a little bit of splitting. So one of the other things I'm going to do is I'm going to top this plant. I'm going to just kind of chop it back, which is not the best idea in this weather. However, these plants are on their way out, and so I want to promote ripening. So if I get rid of the opportunity for it to keep growing, I'm hoping that it will focus all its energy on ripening up. The mint is looking worse for wear, you guys, and I'm thinking it's probably the weather, but it looks pretty bad. And I'm okay with that because I do have some chocolate mint seeds that I'm starting indoors that I really want to try out. Primrose looking pretty shaggy. And this poblano is just getting taller and taller. I am going to keep it through the winter and we'll see what happens there. Not much going on other than that. All right, so what I'm doing now is I've got one side tied up and I'm just working on the other side. I'm just going to get that nice and tight because this is super stretchy. So we're creating a hammock for this watermelon to lay in. That way we're taking some of the weight off of that vine. So I might have to go a little tighter because that's going to get heavier. You can see it's barely holding. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, it's a watermelon hammock. But I'm going to tighten that up a little bit, and I'm likely going to go ahead and create another one for this guy. You can see it, there it is, for this guy. Because that one I know is going to continue to get bigger. All right, so we work with what we have, right? So, and that's what we've got. We've got a watermelon hammock. So we're good to go there. Next up, I am going to get this all chopped up and put into the compost. All right, so trying to chop this up as much as I can because I do want it to quickly break down, which corn does actually break down really fast. And this is not the easiest to cut because it was soaked by the rain. So, doing the best I can. And I need to sharpen my tools. So yeah, make sure you keep your tools sharp. So the rain has really brought the ants out, which is pretty typical, but I have been bitten like 50 million times already. All right, the corn is in, and I'm going to go ahead and water this down. And actually, I've been flipping this compost recently, and it is just about ready. So thinking by the time this corn breaks down, we're going to be ready for fall planting when it comes to compost. All right, back over to here. Like I said, I'm going to be chopping these back. Which again is not a great idea in this weather, but these plants are on their way out, like I said, and they're going to be pulled as soon as this harvest is ripe. So I'm going to see if I can promote ripening, and I'm going to really chop back on this one because I've got so much. I mean, it's just, yeah, that's a big branch. But yeah, like I said, it's going crazy. I mean, look at it's actually still setting fruit. Oh, well, hello there. Not today. Let's go feed him to the birds. Ah! So I caught this little green grasshopper. This is on my plant. I was going to go feed him to the birds. And then he wiggled out of my hands and scared the crap out of me. So sorry, birds. Let's see if I can find him again. All right. So I did cut quite a bit off of this, which opened it up a little bit. So you can see some of these tomatoes, and I'm going to go ahead and pull some of these that are starting to blush. Yeah, so this is the last harvest, and these guys will be coming out and getting ready for the next wave. All right, so corn and tomato plants are now in here. And again, this should be ready for fall planting. So that's very exciting. All right, so I'm excited to have that compost ready. And actually, I'll probably sift through it and take out what I need for monsoon planting because I know we've had a lot of rain lately. Temperatures have cooled down, but they are going to spike up again a little bit. But we do have another window for planting, and that again is the monsoon season, and that's mid-July to August. And so usually you can get a harvest before temperatures cool down and before we officially kick off fall planting. So a few things that I'm going to be starting indoors, a lot of tomatoes. So I have some sun gold tomatoes that I'll be starting indoors. I also have these subarctic plenty tomato that were gifted to me. And these are very early, apparently, like 50 to 60 days from transplant to harvest. So that's really fast. So I am very excited. I haven't actually heard of these tomatoes. I believe they came from Indiana. So I'm really curious about these, and I'm hoping to get a successful harvest with those. So we'll see what happens. I love trying new stuff. Chocolate cherry tomatoes I'm also going to be putting down. I want lots of tomatoes. I had a decent harvest from my San Marzanos this year, and I'm totally happy with that. So definitely going to be planting more of those, San Marzano. Also, I have 2 more tomatoes that I haven't tried yet that I've been really wanting to try. So I thought I'd give those a try. So we have, and these are all indeterminate tomatoes. So they're vining tomatoes, or what they call pole tomatoes. So they'll just keep growing and growing and growing. Hence why I'm going to be taking down the current San Marzanos rather than trying to keep them through the winter and fall and all of that, because yeah, they would likely start producing again, but they're also going to keep growing. And you know that I have a very small space. I only have so much room for tomatoes. So when they get to the size that they were at recently, that's about as big as I like them to get. So anyway, Cherokee Purple, I'm really excited about those. I know a lot of people grow those. So yeah, Black Krim, another interesting one that I'm excited to try. And then companion plants to go with those, marigolds, some parsley. I know that I have parsley in my raised bed, but when that becomes garlic, that parsley's coming out. And so I'm going to companion plant those with other things. Basil, of course, because you got to have basil. And I did not get any good basil plants this spring and summer. I know I've said it before, the thrips have just demolished a ton of my plants. In fact, I gave up on green beans recently, except with the few that I have going right now. And those were seeds that I planted a while back that popped up with the rain. So I don't know. I think I'm going to skip some of the plants this season that attract thrips. So the green beans, the zinnia, love zinnia, but man, the thrips took over those too. So anyway, chocolate mint seeds, these are going to replace the spearmint that I have that's not looking great. And yeah, it probably would bounce back, but honestly, I'd rather have chocolate mint. So I'm excited about that. Also, some garlic chives. I've never grown these before, nor have I had them. So I'm really excited to grow those. I'm also going to put some around my citrus tree, which would be a great pest repellent. And apparently they should thrive there also. So we'll see. I've also got a long purple eggplant. So I have yet to grow eggplant, and I do love eggplant. So I'm also very excited about that. So all of these seeds will be started indoors, and I'll be putting them out likely mid to late August. So hopefully they'll be ready by then. We'll see. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and happy gardening.